Hello. Today we need to do an audit on our ICM structure. We need to make sure that layer 2 and layer 3 match up, and we need to look at our Python code to make sure it's what we want. So today we're going to put a boundary on our work today. So instead of using Claude Code and using the Visual Studios, we're going to use Vim. The purpose of this is to protect us from using Claude Code to do the work that we need to do manually today. This is an audit, okay? So why do I have this PDF up? What is this? The Principles of Political Economy by Francis Bowen? What is this? This has nothing to do with programming, but this does tie together, and we are going to find out how. So let me start by reading this section right here. Now, such regulatory legislation, so far as it operates upon the members of the very community from which it emanates, so far as it limits or restrains the action of all or a portion of them, is not an infringement, but an application of the laissez-faire principle. Laissez-faire, no government interference in the economy, complete free trade, individuals decide through their self-interest, and that's that. It is designed to procure for them a larger liberty than they would otherwise enjoy. If it is effectual, if it answers its purpose, it removes an impediment created by foreign state far more serious and extensive than the obstruction which it imposes. It may indirectly and incidentally turn industry from one channel to another and make some changes in the investments of capital. But this change is effected only by opening one channel, which would otherwise, under the effects of foreign competition, have remained entirely closed, and by rendering it possible and profitable to turn capital to other uses than those to which it was formerly limited. Okay, what's he talking about? He's talking about the T word, tariff. Okay, tariffs are required, and as long as they're used in a stable way, they protect the economy from foreign interference. Okay, so this means that one country has nothing but farms. It does cotton and tobacco. That's all it does. Country B, they make everything. They make machines, they make cars, you name it, electronics, whatever. So, country A, the one with the farms, they want to also economically develop, right? They want to develop their own industry. How do they do that? Well, they can't just open up a factory. They will fail. They will never be able to compete directly with country B. Country B already has the scale of production. They will undercut the price no matter what. So what do? That's a, kind of a state-led economic interference from a foreign country. We raised tariffs. That's what we did. That's how the United States developed its own industry. This is part of the American system of economics. This is one of the legs of that school of economics. And this also ties into our personal life. If we want to develop and become better developers, better engineers, or better business people, guess what? We have to put some type of boundary so that we can really develop ourselves. Today is that boundary. This is not going to be permanent, right? I need Claude Code. Claude Code is great. It is the basis, it's the AI I use to implement the interactive context method that I do. Like, we need it. But we have an issue. We have our layers are not matching up, and we need to manually audit it. This is part of human in the loop. We have to look at the output at a certain stage, right? You have layer 3 here. It's the factory. It's the productive powers, the productive capacity. You have a stage right here. It outputs a product. We QC that product, and we either send it back to the factory to reproduce it, or we give it a check mark and we output it to layer 4. The product, the end wealth that we make. So here it goes. The ability to produce wealth is infinitely more valuable than wealth itself. This is what modern economics gets wrong. The Chicago School, which is just British and Austrian economics with American vocabulary, it gets it wrong. Our main idea is layer 3. It's the factory. It's the recipe. That's what we're focusing on. Because when all the wealth is destroyed and you do not have a layer 3 to replace that wealth, then you're poor. You have nothing. And that's why stock markets crash. Our system that we use for the last 30 or so years focuses only on trading wealth. A top 1% extracts all the wealth for themselves, but the economy is so hollowed out, it has no ability to replace that wealth. And then there's no wealth left over. That's where you get the Great Depression of the 1930s. That's where you get the bank failures in 2008. Come on, people, like, The modern economics doesn't work, okay? What they teach in school doesn't work, right? They teach you that stuff so you keep on going along with them because there's people, organizations that make a lot of money off of this system. So that's what you have to know. So today we go back to the terminal and we go inside our document Solon, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to look at products, and one thing I want to work on is this application called Paine, named after Thomas Paine, by the way. We need to look at this one, and there we go, there we go. We want to look at client here, and where's the context.md file? I told you there's something wrong here. There's no context.md file. We have a Claude, so we can look at that. Okay, so it says what I am and everything, what this application does, architecture. This architecture should be in the context.md because this is layer 2. And then on this one, we can actually look at different things. I see there's only JavaScript in here. We'll look at the JavaScript. And here we go. This is what we're working on. Before this, though, we need to make some infrastructure. Right. Where is... We need to make a context.md file. Yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing all day. That's what I'm going to be doing all day. See you guys in the next one. Next video, we'll ask Claude to audit us so we can make sure that this is right. And I just had a feeling that something wasn't right. And this is why you need to manually audit, make sure your ICM is there and everything. Here it is right here. You gotta use this. Okay? Anyway, see you in the next one.